Captain America Civil War is going to be the first time we're going to see Spider-Man participating in a major Marvel Cinematic Universe event. But my question is, how many major Marvel events has Spider-Man participated in and played some key role? Let's find out. Now let me preface this by saying this list does not include Spider-centric events like Maximum Carnage or Spider Island. These are Marvel Comics Company crossover events that are not Spider-Man-centric, but like the upcoming Civil War movie, still include Spider-Man in some significant way. For example, I'm not going to include 1982's Contest of Champions, because while Grandmaster and Death did summon Spider-Man among every hero in the Marvel Universe, Spider-Man doesn't even fight in that battle. However, I would include 1973's The Thanos War, or rather the aftermath. Several prominent heroes are captured, but it's thanks largely in part to Spider-Man that they were freed and Thanos was ultimately defeated. The next significant event in which Spider-Man plays a crucial role is in 1984's Secret Wars. Spider-Man single-handedly defeats the X-Men, assists in every significant battle using his spider sense, and even discovers his alien symbiotic costume for good measure. In the follow-up in 1985's Secret Wars 2, the Beyonder actually goes to Peter Parker's apartment, and they have kind of a heart-to-heart about humanity. While Spider-Man doesn't strategize with the New Mutants or even throw a punch for that matter, he does talk Beyonder down from a temper tantrum that could have destroyed the universe. And I'd say that's pretty significant. In the 1988 X-Men event Inferno, the X-Men deal with Madeline Pryor turning into a Goblin Queen, and literal demons come to Earth. And it's in several different Spider titles that Spider-Man has to deal with those demons, one of which includes the Spider-Man villain Hobgoblin, who later actually becomes Demogoblin as a direct result of the Inferno crossover. In the 1989 Marvel crossover event Atlantis Attacks, in the only moment in which Atlantis actually attacks, Spider-Man is on the front lines along with the Fantastic Four to keep the forces of Atlantis at bay. Yet again in 1989, the Acts of Vengeance saga saw different Marvel Comics villains swapping heroes to see if their familiarity was what was giving them the edge. In this story arc, both Magneto and the Tri-Sentinel, thanks to Loki, attack Spider-Man, and both times Spider-Man succeeds, with a little help from the Enigma Force. In 1991, the Mad Titan known as Thanos takes control of all Infinity Gems and kills half the universe in an event called the Infinity Gauntlet. All the Marvel heroes band together to figure out what to do about this problem, and Spider-Man winds up going all the way to Thanos' lair, where he is promptly beaten to death by a creepy female version of Thanos that he created to make Death jealous named Taraxia. After the events of the Infinity Gauntlet, Adam Warlock gains control of it, and in 1992 reconstitutes his evil persona known as the Magus. It's during this Infinity War that the Magus creates an alternate reality where there are evil doppelganger versions of all the superheroes, including Spider-Man. This mindless spider doppelganger would have wreaked havoc across New York City if Spider-Man and the Hobgoblin hadn't defeated it. It was, of course, promptly captured by Demogoblin, and then teamed up with the Carnage crew during Maximum Carnage, but that's another video. In 1993's Infinity Crusade, the Adam Warlock good personality becomes an entity known as the Goddess. The Goddess collected several cosmic artifacts in order to create a cosmic egg, which she uses to create an entire paradise planet. She manages to brainwash and cull any character that has a belief system, including Spider-Man, and transforms him into a mindless zealot, ready to defend the Goddess and her plans. Thanks to the combined might of Thanos, Adam Warlock, and Professor X, all the heroes are returned to their normal states and back to where they belong. In 1996's The Onslaught Saga, the combined consciousness of Professor Xavier and Magneto formed an evil psychic entity known as Onslaught, who attempted to destroy all of humanity. While this was during the Clone Saga, Spider-Man and Ben Reilly teamed up to battle a rogue Sentinel controlled by Onslaught to attack regular New Yorkers. The two Spider-Men defeated the Sentinel and swung towards Central Park, where the huge climactic battle of Onslaught was brewing between the combined might of the X-Men and Avengers and Onslaught himself. Neither of them are seen at the battle, however, and no one bothers to explain why. In 2004's Avengers Disassembled, Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda Maximoff, went bonkers and killed most of the Avengers. In the ensuing battle to bring her down, every superhero in the New York area, including Spider-Man, joined together to help their fallen comrades. Spider-Man assists in the Kree invasion that was conjured by Wanda, and is present at the climactic battle in which Wanda takes all of the heroes' greatest fears and turns them against each other. Spider-Man's greatest fear, by the way? Clones. In 2004, Nick Fury waged a secret war against Lucia von Bardas, the American-installed leader of Latveria after Dr. Doom was seemingly killed. As it turns out, she was funneling money into the Tinkerer, who was creating weapons and augmented suits for supervillains to attack on American soil. Spider-Man was one of the few people that Nick Fury called who owed him a favor, and along with other heroes like Luke Cage and Wolverine, Spider-Man helped fight a war in Latveria against the dictator herself. 1 year later, Spider-Man had to fight another secret war, which was in retaliation for their first attack. While Spider-Man doesn't do any major significant thing, there are so few members of the secret war that it's worth noting. In 2005's House of M, Wanda Maximoff and her brother brother Pietro used Wanda's reality-altering powers to give Wanda back her children and give all of their friends and family everything they've ever wanted. In Peter Parker's case, it meant a life as Spider-Man, but with Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy still alive with fame and fortune. After Wolverine and plot device Layla Miller gave back Peter Parker's original memories, he was instrumental in the fight against the forces of the House of M. When all was said and done, the world was put back to the way it used to be, but Peter Parker retained the memories of his alternate life. Backing up Tony Stark's support of the Superhuman Registration Act in 2005's Civil War, Spider-Man revealed his identity as Peter Parker to the whole world in solidarity. After the unintended death of Bill Foster, aka Goliath, Peter Parker realized he was on the wrong side of this argument, and he joined with Captain America and his anti-registration forces. This decision, along with his identity reveal, would utterly ruin his life at that point, and he soon became a fugitive from the law along with his anti-registration comrades. In the climactic battle of Civil War, Spider-Man was instrumental in taking down pro-registration forces like Mr. Fantastic. 2007's World War Hulk saw the Hulk return to Earth to seek revenge against the Illuminati, which included Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, Black Bolt, and Doctor Strange. Before the Hulk and his Warbound could arrive in New York City, Spider-Man and the Avengers helped evacuate the city of innocent civilians, and tried to help defend the city by battling the Warbound, Hulk's comrades. In 2008's Secret Invasion, Spider-Man was one of the many heroes that was copied by the Skrulls during their invasion, and he stood united with both Avengers teams to battle the invading Skrull forces in Central Park at the end. In 2009's Dark Reign, Spider-Man villain Norman Osborn took over S.H.I.E.L.D. and changed it to Hammer and formed his own Avengers squad. During this time, the realm known as Asgard was floating above Broxton, Oklahoma. This led into the 2010 event Siege, in which Norman Osborn's Avengers squad invaded Asgard. All the Avengers, which included Spider-Man, rose up and defended Asgard. And when the Sentry went crazy and turned back into the Void and attacked everybody, Loki offered enchanted Norn stones to the Avengers forces, which included Spider-Man, which augmented their powers and strength to become a force to be reckoned with. In the end, the Sentry was killed and Norman Osborn was revealed to be the Goblin he really is, and Spider-Man got the final blow. In 2010, Daredevil was infected by a demon and took over Hell's Kitchen and renamed it Shadowland. His fellow street-level heroes, including Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Spider-Man, tried to shake him out of it, but it was too little too late. Spider-Man did take down Daredevil villainous Typhoid Mary, though. In 2011's event Fear itself, the Asgardian god of fear known as the Serpent was resurrected by the Red Skull's daughter, known as Sin. Wielding an enchanted hammer not unlike Thor's, she became Skadi, Herald of the Serpent. Releasing more evil enchanted hammers and spreading worldwide panic, it was up to a unified Avengers to stop it. Working in Odin's workshop, Tony Stark built weapons for all of his Avengers comrades, including enchanted bladed gauntlets for Spider-Man. In 2012's Avengers vs. X-Men, the Phoenix Force threatened to return to Earth in the body of Hope Summers. In an attempt to keep the Phoenix Force at bay, the Avengers took Hope Summers to Kunlun, a mystical city that Iron Fist is very familiar with, and while training there, Spider-Man taught Hope about great power and great responsibility. In 2013's Age of Ultron, Ultron took over the world and killed nearly everybody. A small pocket of Avengers forces saved Spider-Man and brought him into a secret bunker where one contingent went to the future to battle Ultron, and Wolverine went back in time and kinda messed up everything even more, but Spider-Man just kinda stayed behind. He's one of the few characters who doesn't die. In 2014's event Original Sin, D-list villain The Orb steals Uatu the Watcher's eye and uses it as a knowledge bomb on nearly the entire superhero community. Spider-Man is given the revelation that the spider that bit him actually bit somebody else before dying, and he totally bails in the entire fight to go find her. The 2014 event Axis included the Red Skull turning into Onslaught after stealing Xavier's brain and putting it into his own head. In an attempt to flip the Axis and give Charles Xavier control over his own mind in the Red Skull's body, Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch tried to cast an inversion spell but wound up getting attacked by Sentinels before they could finish it. In a twist of fate, most of the heroes were inverted to evil and most of the villains were inverted to good. Spider-Man's one of the few heroes who avoids the inversion and winds up trying to help everybody else put things back to the way they were, and stop Apocalypse's gene bomb, which would have killed all humans. Spider-Man attempts to stop the gene bomb with his webbing, but is stopped by Carnage, who warns him his efforts will fail. But Carnage seemingly sacrifices his life to stop the bomb, and Spider-Man erects an entirely tasteless statue, as per Carnage's request, in his honor. In 2015's Secret Wars, all worlds were colliding in the form of incursions. The final incursion was between the 616 original Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe. Before being destroyed, Reed Richards built a life raft and grabbed as many superheroes and friends as he could, which included Spider-Man. The raft lay dormant for some time before being opened by Doctor Strange, now known as Stephen Strange, in an alternate world known as Battle World, controlled by God King Dr. Doom. Peter Parker Spider-Man and counterpart Miles Morales Spider-Man entered a secret chamber which housed the secret power of God King Doom, also known as Owen Reese, the Molecule Man. While Peter Parker doesn't do anything specifically helpful in this situation, Miles Morales does offer Owen Reese a burger, which allows him and his family to be preserved in the Marvel Prime Universe. And finally, in 2016's Civil War II, Spider-Man will be on the opposing side of Iron Man in this new conflict between between superhero communities. The central story is between Captain Marvel and Iron Man coming to blows over an Inhuman who can see into the future, and whether they should use that power to stop crimes before they start. Not much is yet known about Peter Parker's involvement in this conflict, but we can guess it's going to be pretty big. So there you have it, gang. Spider-Man's role in nearly every Marvel Comics crossover event since 1973. And while Spider-Man didn't always throw the last punch or say the last word, he always played a key role in some way. Sometimes. Thanks a lot for watching. Sorry I'm not Rob, and we'll see you guys next time on Comics Explained. And if you like what you heard, you can stop by Comic Pop and check out what we've got going on.